Hey, what's up my friends? John Hiley here with Tactical Dent TX. We're going to be working on this Ford F-350 front door. Now this is in a location, if anybody's worked on the F-350s, incredibly hard to access this location. We wanted to avoid removing the molding here. Now there could have been maybe a little access for the molding, but instead of that, we're going to do some glue pulling on this aluminum. Now I'm starting off with a big tab. And so aluminum, you really need to get a big pull. Now on this, I'm gonna start off with a mini lifter. What I like about the mini lifters on aluminum is it's going to pin the adjacent metal down with the feet while it takes an isolated pull on the actual dent. And so the tabs that I'm using here are the Robo Tabs, and that's the quarter size one. And the type of glue that I'm using is one of my favorite glues. This is actually called the Snappy. It's Pink Snappy by Anson PDR Tools. So first pull, we got a lot of that dent out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and reopen it. As you can see, there's a little bit of tension towards the top of the line. That is going to hold in that tension. So I'm actually tapping on the very top of that line to shove some of that metal downward. So you kind of see how I did my knockdown work around it, but then I went up there to the top of the line. When you go up there at the top of the line, that really does help out, push a little bit of that metal downward, allowing it to ease up. Now I want to give you an overall view of what I'm doing here. Some of y'all don't quite realize it, but I've actually got the door opened on a door jammer. Now I'm doing that intentionally because I want to be able to get my head back in behind the damage. So again, putting a quarter size tab on there and getting ready to take a big old pull. So it's definitely pulling okay, but with my experience on the F-350s, you've really got to get a hard pull to even get these things to move whatsoever. So you're going to be able to kind of see not only how I'm doing the pull work, you also see my fancy camera work here, my incredible editing skills that I just left everything exactly the way that it was. But it's okay because it's about the dent. And so here I'm using the zero gravity knockdown, and I have been using the Peak plastic knockdowns, and you also see me using my Dent Vision paddle, which is one of my favorite knockdowns that I've ever had in all existence, including even some of you guys remember from my old videos, the actual yellow hammer that I had. So you guys can see it actually pulled a very nice high spot in the center of that dent. Now we're not completely out of the woods yet. Aluminum is just one of them things that it's going to come up incrementally. Rather than, if this was a steel dent, we would have already pulled it into a high spot and we would have been in there getting our knockdown work done and completely finishing it out much faster. But aluminum does not work like steel. It's not quite as moldable, meaning steel, you can kind of move the metal and it sticks wherever you push it or you pull it. With aluminum, it takes a lot more effort to actually get it to stick where it is that you want it to stick. A little more knockdown work here. Sorry guys, my dent's in the black in this particular part of the video. But all I'm doing is opening this bad boy up so I can get in here and take my pull. But you can see that second knockdown session, I mean, it dramatically brought that dent up. Now I'm still going in with this big quarter size, tab, Robo Tab. Only place you can get these Robo Tabs now is Drew's Tools. All right, so we got a nice pull there, Pink Snappy, working like it should. Now right here I'm using 99% alcohol. You can see it pulled a nice little high. Ideally, that's what you want whenever you're glue pulling. You want to pull it into a high so you can finish that damage with the knockdown. And you can see again, I'm using this Peak knockdown tip. I actually bought the knockdowns from Dent Tools, and they sell out of Anson PDR Tools. So most of this stuff you can get from Anson. It's their pink snappy glue, the zero gravity knockdown, the knockdown hammer, all of that. Anson carries that. The only thing they do not carry is these tabs. And, you know, I like a lot of different tabs. I use a lot of different tabs. But I've been using these a lot, and I really like them. So now you're kind of seeing the POV version of this repair, where I'm actually wearing the glasses. And I wanted to show you this portion of it as well, just because I wanted you to see exactly what it is that I'm seeing. Once again, kind of show you how I place the tabs. There's only a little bit left on this damage. In fact, it could be the equivalent of just a flat spot up there at the very top. All right. I didn't capture the pool on that one. No big deal. Put a little bit more on the tab. Take another little pull there. And this is really just showing you the process, guys. I want to show as much as I can from the point of view, because this is kind of like looking through my eyes. I wanted to show you how I was dropping the tabs, where my eyes are whenever I'm dropping the tabs, and how I'm doing the knockdown work. That was the purpose of some of that redundant footage that you see there. But I just don't want you to miss anything, because we are about to finish this bad boy up. Right there's a nice little high spot for the knockdown work. And this is one of the reasons why I've got the door jamb up. That's a little life hack for you. If you put the door in a door jammer, you can stand behind it and you can get this really tight reflective angle while you are doing your knockdown work. So there we go. Right up there at the top is always the stiffest, hardest area to manipulate and move. But we got this bad boy finished. There it is, my friends. All finished up on an aluminum door dent. I appreciate you. And as usual, I'll see you on the next one.